Hello everyone, today I'm back with part 2 of F122 My Team. I got confused there. This time we're driving around Saudi Arabia, a track which I'm generally good at. However, as you'll probably see in this quali session, I did not have the best of time because I hadn't practiced on the track for a little bit. And also the F1 My Team car is a bit strange at this early stage in career mode with the settings that I chose. But anyway, we're going. I've skipped practice. I've done the practice programs. Nothing interesting. It's just R&D. Anyway, let's start with the first lap, which actually does not go to plan, I guess you can say. Firstly, into the run towards turn 1. I was a bit rusty, so I broke way too early, and my turn was also very wrong. But anyways, yeah, I failed the first lap, but then this is actually my second lap that I did on a new set of tires. Yes, I ended up using way more new tires than I should have in the first section of qualifying. However, I just had to do that. But so far it's looking alright into this section. The lap is okay. I'm pretty sure I went like second fastest with this lap, but like my lines were not optimized at all. Like I wasn't warmed up in the slightest on the track by now. Anyway, into the final corner, pretty good apex. Not early enough on the power though, so I'm gonna be a bit slower on the straight. But as you can tell, short line up to the finish line in second. 32.7. This is way far off my real best time. So anyway, let's get into my second lap now, my second fast lap, which starts off well, later braking, but then I get a massive snap, like I almost bin it. That was ridiculous. And to add insult to injury, I get a massive amount of lag here, which offsets me even further going into this. Even also offsets the audio, but now it's fixed, as you can probably tell. I fixed the audio offset. I also managed to regain all the time that I lost with that snap and lag in the second sector, which is pretty good. I think I actually set I don't think I actually set a purple sector, but I had set a very green sector. Even better, almost through here, I just ran wide. Apparently my second sector was red as well, which is kind of strange because I made up a lot of time. But that's not really important. Here, as you can tell, I'm finally utilizing the tighter line, which is pretty good. However, fortunately, at the end, I got another snap here, as you can tell. So I was not able to improve on my lap time at all. I was 4/10 down. However, I just about scraped by in P10. Thankfully, I was really afraid I would just drop out of qualifying right at the end, but nobody improved, I guess. I guess the track just got too slippery at the end, so I was able to make it through, thankfully. So now into Q2, here's my first lap that I did, which was okay. I mean, it could have gone a little bit better, but it was a decent first lap, I guess you could say. So let's get into it. Here, decent apex on the first corner, decent apex on the second corner. Alright exit. I could have been a little bit better, but it was alright. This is my worst corner, by the way, and even then it was okay this time. I mean, that would have been track limits if I had strict corner cutting strictency, but I did not, so I did not get anything for that. That was a mediocre racing line, so that was my fault, kind of. Anyway, coming down into this awesome bank corner, which is pretty fun to be honest, after setting a purple sector of all things. This is really difficult actually on the exit. It's really easy to spin there, so you need to be pretty careful. Anyway, here we are coming into here. Pretty good apex, good usage of the exit curb. Overall a decent chicane, I guess you could say. Now coming into this next chicane, this is the most difficult corner on the entire track. If you fuck this up, your lap time is in the bin. Actually no, it's the second most difficult corner. The most difficult corners is within the first sector, that really tough section, which is like, I'm not even sure how to describe it. Really tough. Here into the final corner, very good apex actually, almost kissed the wall there. right on the limit. Here going into the short line, and we have set a lap time which is third best, which is, I guess, okay. Now here we are in another lap. As you can tell, it wasn't that good because I'm now P11, which is just about not good enough to make it into Q3. Here again, a bit more confidence on the brakes, a bit better apex all around. However, a bit of a awful exit, so I lose some time. Here coming into this is the most difficult section. Like this is the most frustrating part of the track, but this time I actually managed to get it kind of okay, so I can hope that I'll have a good lap time. Here this corner missed the apex just slightly, but it was just enough to continue my improvement on the lap, which is now 4/10 faster, by the way, than my previous one. And now coming into the second hardest part of the track. Will I be able to get a much better apex? Yes, I will be able to, even decent curb usage, which means I have gained another 2/10 just through there. And now coming into the final corner, I managed to fuck up my tight line a little bit, so that loses me a little bit of time. But coming into here, I get an even better apex and even better exit, so I somehow managed to get I've improved almost by 4/10 just in a single fucking corner. Almost by a whole second improvement at the end, which manages to secure me a 6th place, as you can tell. That is my best position in a qualifying session, I think, so far in this my team. Yeah, to be honest, I think I need to lower my AI because these are not quick at all, as that you're seeing here. These are not actually quick in the slightest. My PB is a 28.8, which is almost 2 seconds off of the world record, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Anyway, here's my first lap in Q3, which is on a used set of tires. So instead of rambling about the lap, I feel we should just watch it, so here you go. Yeah, so that was the lap. As you can tell, not the best lap, but I was on a screw up tire set, so no way I would be able to set a quick time. But now let's watch this one where I have not been using a used set. As you can tell, I tried braking a bit later, but unfortunately I just fumbled the entry completely. By the way, I actually know how to brake way later and still hit the apex now, which is good. Here a bit better braking, managed to gain a bit of time. Now coming into this section, it was really important to gain some time, because if I can gain time through this section, this is perfect. Now I have gained just a little bit, but I'm still 1/10 behind somehow on new tires. That is something that only I can achieve. But what will you do? Anyways, on the exit of the bank corner, as you can tell, I'm almost equal with my time now. Now coming into here, that's not ideal. I hit the inside and I've lost, and I owe 10s now, even more in fact. 1.5 tenths almost. So now my last sections have to be perfect, pixel perfect. Here, this is way better than my first run, so now I've gained pretty much the exact time that I had lost in the first 2 sectors. I just gained back in a single corner, so that just kind of shows that there's a lot of time to be found in my runs. Anyways, here coming into the final corner, the hairpin, It was an okay entry and exit. I mean, it could have been way better, but it will be good enough to set a time for, I think that was P7. Let's see, yeah, P7. Equaled my qualifying performance from Bahrain, which is pretty good. Let's hope the race will go a little bit better than Bahrain.
Race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look.
Maybe I can keep my position. You never know.
Leclerc, Perez, and George
That's something
Russell.
we will have to see
Goodbye for
later.
now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us
But
again
yeah,
for lights
the
out
first 3 cars are all
tomorrow.
different, which is pretty cool if you think about it.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, and Sir Lewis Hamilton. Ace, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, and Valtteri Bottas. Tsunoda, Joe, George Russell, and Ocon. Richard Verschoor, Vettel, Pierre Gasly, and Kevin Magnussen. Mick Schumacher, Stroll, Albon, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
So this is the strategy I'm gonna go for. I'm actually going to extend my stint here on the mediums a little bit more because I decided that generally speaking the overcut is kind of strong on this game. If you get to stick on the warmer tires for longer, you'll generally be a bit faster in the race, so I decided to go an extra lap over what the game predicted, actually 2 laps in the end. Which may have been a little bit risky, but I decided to do that anyway. Because why not? Anyways, as you can tell, I'm trying really hard to warm the tires up, and for whatever reason, they're not really warming up. Thankfully, right at the end, I managed to warm them up a decent bit, so that's good. And also the rears, by doing a quick little burnout, just like this. There we go, the rears are warmed up now. Almost perfect grid lineup, which is pretty good. And now in terms of the launch, it's important to get a really good launch, so let's see what I will be able to pull off. I'm pretty sure I pulled off a pretty decent launch, but let's see. So I ended up being around 10,000 again, like last time. Yeah, okay, it wasn't as good as last time, but it's still a pretty alright launch. Big sand up the inside of Mr. Hamilton, and then a pretty decent hole around the outside of Mr. Lando Norris. Later in the lap, as you can tell, I'm already starting to lose the Red Bulls a bit because they're just too fast. Their car is just a bit too fast. So I'm not really going to be able to keep up with the Red Bulls. Like, even though I'm running kind of low AI on here, I'm still with a base my team car. By the way, for the next episode, I'm going to turn up the AI to 90, I think. I would say I'm confident enough in my abilities that I can do 90 without too many problems. Anyways, missed the apex here. This means I've already lost the DRS to Perez, which is not ideal. Ironic that I'm losing my DRS to Perez once again. It's a little too ironic, isn't it? And here, coming into the hairpin, I get absolutely sent on by Norris, and he breaks my front wing, believe it or not. However, I decided not to pit because it's a bit... I don't know why I didn't pit, actually. I was gonna say because it's too dangerous, but there wasn't any form of danger, to be honest, so I'm not really sure why I didn't pit. I actually ended up pitting all the way on lap 4, however, for now I tried to hold Norris back, which worked surprisingly well for about half a lap. Here he actually wanted to send on me, but he couldn't. I also ran really wide. Here he tries to go around the outside, and yeah, there you go, he's already passed me. Hamilton also tries to pass me, but there just isn't enough room. Let's skip to the end of lap 3. As you can tell, Hamilton has now passed me. I keep having traction issues because of my broken front wing. And overall, this is the point where I decided I need to pit. However, I wanted to pit on new mediums. However, I couldn't. I can only pit on hards and on softs, so that was not ideal. So I go into the pits here, and and I go onto the hard tires. However, as you're gonna see right now, I did a massive blunder because I forgot to turn on a setting called repair wings. So now my wings are not repaired. So basically I just wasted my time. I only realized a bit later, as we're gonna see. I was like, oh, that was pretty good pit stop. Damn, they really fixed my wing. Then I run the steel on the X and I'm like, okay, that's not too bad. I mean, cold hard tires, they don't really have all that much grip. Then here I check and I see that my front wing is still broken. I'm like pissed at this point. Decide to rewind, but as you can tell, I cannot rewind back enough to change the settings, so I'm basically forced to finish this lap, go back in the pits and change my front wing. Properly this time. However, I had to go back on the same mediums that I had before the pit stop, the first one, so I basically just put myself in the mud right here. I basically just did a Ferrari strategy, which was not ideal when you considered everything. I was literally 30 seconds behind the GOATs, Latifi, and pretty much the entire field. You can see on the mini-map I'm really far back. So at this point it was basically just me trying to do the catch-up. The catch-up game it was basically, for me. So not ideal. I wouldn't say it's ideal, at least. But now lap 7, look at the gap, 34 seconds to Latifi. Let's skip to lap number 8, already it's 32 seconds, so I've already lowered the gap a lot. Go to lap 11, it's already down to 27 seconds. However, I soon pit, so it doesn't really matter. Well, they pit as well, as you can tell, a lot of them. I am now about 5 seconds behind Albon after their pit stops, their one pit stop, so yeah, you'll be thinking, oh, you're back in the fight. No, I have to pit again, because I cannot make it to the end of these mediums. I need to go back in the cars that I switched from. I decided to do it at the end of lap 13, like the original strategy was. Now, as you know, Latifi is out of the pits, he's only 3 seconds ahead of me, which is actually pretty alright. But again, I have to pit, because these medium tires, they're not gonna survive to the end. In fact, they're already barely living. So now at the end of lap 13, I go in the pits. However, we do yet another blunder, because you know how I set the setting later to change the front wing? Well, I forgot to remove it, so now they're gonna change my front wing again. And look at this. This is like, if it didn't go badly, if the wing got on properly, I wouldn't be mad. But I even had a problem with putting on the front wing, so I ended up having a 10-second pit stop. Not even a 7-8 second, a 10-second pit stop. And now pretty much all of my progress that I had done has been reset. As you can tell, 29 seconds, but let's skip to lap 16, now it's 26 seconds. Here I go to the soft tires in case I pit again for whatever reason. 26 seconds on lap 16. I'm also monitoring that my ICE is absolutely on the verge of exploding, which is not exactly ideal. Skip to lap 20, just 4 laps later. Now the gap is 14 seconds. I've decreased the gap by over 15 seconds in the span of 4 laps, which is pretty fucking good if you think about it. However, as you're gonna see at the end, I was actually praying for a safety car, by the way. And on the minimap you see there's yellow flags in sector 2. I was like, when I saw that, I was thinking to myself, yes, my prayers have been answered. There will be a safety car. Or maybe the game will fuck me over and not give a safety car. But no, the game did give a safety car right around here. Right now, roughly. Okay, safety car. Okay, whatever reason my delta, I basically had to slow down to a halt to be able to reduce my delta, and I almost got a penalty for it, which was really dumb. Anyway, at the end you would think that I would just stick like this and like wait and just start all the way from the back. No, my very dumbass, my Ferrari strategy ass decides to pit for soft tires. You might be like, oh, okay, that's a pretty good idea. Well, it's a good idea until you remember that Charles has now officially lapped me, which means I am starting the race behind Charles. That's where I'm restarting. So basically, I fucked my race over 3 times already. Firstly, by not putting on the wing. Second, by forgetting to turn off the option to put on the wing and having a shit pit stop. And now putting on soft tires, which I'm not even going to be able to use to the end of the race. Which, as you can tell, that will be the case because I'm starting right behind Charles. I'm able to actually almost match him on the straight. Then here I have way better traction, so I'm just about able to get in front of him. Overall, that's kind of how it sticks. Right now, 55-second gap to Stroll. In the end, I think the gap is down to like 40 seconds by lap 25. Yeah, about 40 seconds to Stroll, but that's really nothing. And here I even make a mistake, so yeah, I got some wheel spin and I hit the front wing. And overall, an absolute disaster class for me. There's only one way I can describe this race.
You fucking look like rockstars, huh? And now we are a fucking bunch of wankors. Yeah, bunch of fucking clowns here.
So yeah, we used to be a bunch of fucking rock stars. Now we're a bunch of wankers. Absolute disaster.
So it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Anyway, I wasn't really bothered to show you the standings or what I did. Basically, all my upgrades failed. And I had to change every component on the ICE. So yeah, that's kind of what transpired, which I didn't show you. So yeah, basically we're going in with the same piece of garbage that I drove at Saudi into Australia. So yay, very funny, bro. I really like my piece of garbage car. I'll see you next time. Bye.